Do you feel frustrated trying to grow your franchise? Are you having trouble balancing your consumer and franchise development marketing? Do you wish there was an easier way? Imagine if you had a proven roadmap to take your franchise's marketing from costing you to making you money. That's why we've created the Franchise Growth Blueprint. We walk you through the exact same process that we use to run franchise marketing campaigns for our clients at scale that has resulted in triple-digit growth. This blueprint isn't for anyone. It's not for people just starting a franchise. It's not for franchises without long-term goals. This is for franchises that want to scale up their marketing in a predictable and profitable way using a proven roadmap. If you want to sell more franchises, keep your current franchisees happy, and learn from people who have already done it, go to franchisegrowthblueprint.com and sign up today. That's franchisegrowthblueprint.com. Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of the Franchise Marketing Podcast. Today, I have a fellow Canadian here, Bill Dowd. He's the president and CEO of Skedaddle Wildlife. Bill, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thanks for having me on, Jordan. My pleasure to be on here and discuss franchising with you.
Of course. It's great to chat with you today. So for our listeners who don't know you, could you give a brief introduction into who you are and your franchise?
Sure. So personally myself, I have been the owner of Skedaddle Humane Wildlife Control for 31 years. 1989, I started this company. Prior to that, I played a little professional hockey in the New York Islanders farm system. Drafted to them after they won their first Stanley Cup, so spent a few years in the minor systems. Realized I wasn't going anywhere and kind of fell into the wildlife control business. After I got my education at Brock University, was going to be a teacher and kind of got into this line of work. And it's unique, it's different. So now with Skedaddle, we have 32 units across Canada and 3 in the U.S. as well. So our mission, our goal is hopefully to have Skedaddle not only across Canada, but across America as well.
Awesome. I love it. I love to hear when Canadian brands are, expanding into the U.S. It's so nice to have a Canadian presence there. So, 31 years you've been at it. What made you decide to go the franchising route?
Well, we realized every city we went into, no matter, where it is, whether, in the East Coast, Montreal, Northern Ontario, that there is a demand for our services. I have 23 what we call founder locations that I still own and operate, and I have enough on my plate there. I enjoy seeing people be successful, whether it be my first employee that I hired that eventually bought his own house and so on and so forth. Now I really enjoy seeing my franchisees, come on board, believe in our systems and our procedures and our marketing and being successful. In fact, I just had a conversation with one of our franchisees yesterday. He had his best month ever in September in the middle of COVID and had over 110,000 in sales for the month of September. So, hearing those stories just once again reaffirms that, this business, the Skedaddle brand is marketable and a great opportunity for anyone who wants to be in business for themselves, but not by themselves. As well as we're recession or pandemic. Since COVID hit, on average, our revenues have increased anywhere from 30 to 35%. So we're providing an opportunity for Canadians to not only get back to work, but own a business when the demand is there. Great interest rates right now. It's actually a great time to own a Skedaddle franchise.
That's fantastic to hear. I'm so happy to hear that you've been growing and your franchisees have been doing well in this very crazy time. So Bill, I'd love to hear a bit more about what have been your biggest learnings going from corporately owned to now having these 32 these I think 23 locations across Canada and the US now.
Right. Probably the biggest learning is switching from, before, my employees were my customers, making certain my employees were happy all the time and doing whatever we can to help them, has now shifted to our franchisees, that our franchise team, our customers are our franchisees, that, we are constantly there to support them, whether it's on-site visits or through technology or the phone or Zoom meetings, that we can help and support them. For example, our newest franchisee in Coquitlam, BC, our first franchise on the West Coast, his first appointment just turned out to be a very, very large quote and a very large sale for pigeons. And we're talking in the tens of thousands of dollars here. So seeing that his first sale is these jobs don't come in on a daily basis, once a month maybe, but, great start for him. And, that we were there to help him through the entire process in terms of how to quote it, how to write up the proposal, and of course to be there with him to support him when he does that job so he can get off to a great start.
Wow, that's great to hear. And I'm sure that that franchisee has, super happy with, first sale, first phone call, and boom, it's such a big deal. That's great to hear.
Yeah, it's really going to kick off his business. Typically on average with Skedaddle, we're humanely removing animals from people's attics. We're not trapping and relocating because that's inhumane. We're keeping family units together, reuniting the baby animals with the mother on the outside of the home. We're then animal proofing that structure so the homeowner never has to worry again because we do it right the first time. And we give that homeowner a lifetime guarantee that they'll never have a problem again. So those type of jobs, and on average, our average sale is anywhere from $1,500 to $2,500, which typically takes anywhere from 6 to 8 hours. So having a new franchisee come in a sale in the tens of thousands is fantastic news for all of us across the brand.
Totally. And on our pre-call, you were mentioning about having multiple revenue streams. So could you talk to me more about that and how you came to diversifying that revenue for your system?
Sure. So we have 4 revenue streams as a Skedaddle franchisee. Obviously, wildlife control is our bread and butter that kind of cash flows the quickest. But over 20 years ago, when I kind of got tired, I would drive out to a job site. People thought they were hearing a raccoon in the attic. I'd spend an hour on site investigating everything, get into the attic space and find that it's mice. And back then, we didn't deal with mice. We would refer that out to a pest control company. So about 20 years ago, we started researching this and developed it with family and friends, where now we can humanely remove mice from homes and then mouse-proof a home. So that kind of got us into the mouse business. And then from there, mice work can be very extensive because we have to seal any crack or crevice the size of a dime. And some people just don't have the wherewithal or the finances to spend $2,000 to mouse-proof their home. So we got into the pest control aspect where we can offer a different type of solution dealing with mice, as well as that got us into doing spiders and ants and wasps and that type of thing. So pest control, Skedaddle Pest Control is another option for that franchisees can add on to their services. And then when animals are in an attic, they urinate, they defecate, they trample down the insulation, and energy costs through the roof. So we now remove all that contaminated insulation and blow in an environmentally friendly cellulose insulation. So that's another revenue stream that franchisees can take part on, some different equipment and vehicles. And then our last revenue stream is professional Christmas decorating. And this is the real fun business because it's a different buying cycle. If someone has to spend $1,000 to get a raccoon out, it's kind of like if we take our car into the shop and have to get new tires or brakes, $1,000, I have to spend it. Same with wildlife, you have to spend it to get the animal out. Versus Christmas, they want to spend that money. They want their house stunning for the holidays. They want to have the best looking house on the street. So it's a real fun line of work. And it was a great fit for us because we use the same technicians, same vehicles. We already have the ladders. We know how to do roof safety and fall arrest, fall restraint. So it was a great kind of segue into the Christmas decorating. And, a number of staff really enjoy it. They enjoy the wildlife, but it gives them a little bit of change. We start our decorating in September. We have over 400 clients, and we go all the way through till first week of December, quiets down, Christmas happens. Then we have January, February, where we're taking down all of the product. We store it in our warehouse, and that rolls us right into March, which is when all the baby animals are being born. And then we get very, very busy with our birthing season.
Nice. And you know what? It's very, I have to say, hats off to you, because it's very smart the way that you set up. First is that it's a very symbiotic relationship across the services that you provide, and it helps kind of flatten that seasonality across across income for your franchisee.
Right, exactly. The Christmas business, we have to hire a lot of people. So especially during these COVID times, so we're staffing up right now. We get guys coming on board, or staff coming on board, and then they get to learn our philosophy and our methodologies through a number of months with the Christmas decorating, and then they're all set to roll into the busy time with the spring season and the baby animals that arrive. So it complements each other and allows our franchisees to be staffed up to make spring their most profitable season of the year.
Cool. Very cool. I love it. So let's switch gears a bit. Let's talk about marketing for a second. So what's the best marketing campaign that you've ran so far?
We'll get right back to the show, but do you feel frustrated trying to grow your franchise? Are you having trouble balancing your consumer and franchise development marketing? Do you wish there was an easier way? Imagine if you had a roadmap to take your franchise's marketing from costing you to making you money. That's why we've created the Franchise Growth Blueprint. To find out more, visit franchisegrowthblueprint.com. That's franchisegrowthblueprint.com. Now back to today's episode.
Well, obviously nowadays everything is online. I'm going to be dating myself, but in the early days it was the Yellow Pages, where we had ads in I think I was in over 120 directories, spending $500,000 a year on Yellow Page ads. So, our website has been around 25 years. So we're getting a lot of good traction with Google. And all the marketing we do with our marketing department on Google and our outside marketing agency. So we put a lot of money into our website and our online presence. And nowadays that's where, most of our leads are coming from. And people have done that research. They're on our website. It's not like in the old days looking at Yellow Page ads and, oh, that looks like a nice ad. Now they can look at our website. They can spend as much time as they want on. They go on our YouTube channel, see all the videos on how we do our work. So they're a more educated buyer before we come to their door to assess their problem for them.
Mm-hmm. Totally. And one thing that I absolutely love about the digital side, and one of the reasons why I personally got into it, is even from an attribution perspective, you're actually able to track, where did a person come from? What did they view? And then you can tie that directly to the revenue that you're getting in and make more insightful and deliberate decisions.
Right, exactly. And we're using those tools to our advantage. So if we have a franchise lead for Calgary, we're not in Calgary yet. We think it'd be an unbelievable market, but we can, when we get an inquiry, we can show them, our website is already generating 5,000, 10,000 hits a year from Calgary. And that's just the fact we're not marketing there, but our website and our blogging and our media coverage we get, that Google has recognized us as a real authority on urban wildlife. So when someone searched raccoon in their attic, or raccoon in chimney, or squirrel in their fireplace in Calgary, we're already ranking on Google. So that's a great sales tool that we could use to help award a franchise in a Calgary or Edmonton or any other city marketplace.
I love that. That's such a brilliant idea to use, the data that you have coming now to actually sell to prospective franchisees. What other ways are you using this data to help, nurture and kind of convince people to come into your system?
I think when they take a look at our website and how professional it is, our public-facing website as well as our franchise website, and then taking a look at our YouTube videos. I mean, people can spend days. We have so many videos there. They can see, all types of animals, and this is how they do it. Because no one really understands that this business even exists until you have a problem, and then you're picking up the phone and hopefully calling Skedaddle. So, when they phone us, they're educated, they're ready to buy, and we want to provide them with that exceptional service, that wow moment that, this is a reputable company that has been in business for 31 years, has a proven track record. I mean, we've taken hundreds of thousands of animals out of people's homes. There's nothing we haven't seen, and we can pass that knowledge on to our newest franchisee who doesn't need any experience in wildlife control or business experience. We have all the back office support that we can help them. We're just looking for people that want to come in, have a great work ethic, of course, following our procedures, our methodologies, and be a good fit with our Skedaddle brand.
Totally. And you hit on a really great point. And I was actually talking with Craig Eusta from the local handyman group about this, in how the service that you're offering, it's very reactionary, meaning it's not something that, I think of, I'm going to have raccoons in my house, so I might as well do research. No, it's like, oh, shoot, I have raccoons in my house. I need to, find someone right away. So I love this kind of, full take that you're approaching your marketing from, trying to cast your net out as wide as possible, using the content on your site, using YouTube for those videos, and just trying to really be everywhere that a potential customer could be.
Right, exactly. It's a great benefit for us. And, we like to say that's our best customers. They've done their research. We've come out. They're saying, yes, I know all about your company. Go ahead, do the raccoon work. And then we get out of the attic. Oh, your insulation's kind of destroyed. Here's an insulation quote. Okay, re-insulate my attic, get rid of all that contaminated insulation. Oh, you have some bugs up there. Oh yeah, we can do an ant program for you. Let's take care of your ants. And oh, do you like Christmas? Here, why don't we decorate your house? We like to say that's our perfect customer, that all four of our service lines. And we do have some customers out there that will do that, because people, no matter what business you're in, love doing business with people they like. Mm-hmm. So provide that to them. And of course, customer service is everything. So, we're very, very strong on that, provide that exceptional customer service. Nobody likes technicians coming to their home, whether you have a plumber coming out or electrician or a cable company that comes out and says, oh, we'll be out there from, 8 to 5. We're giving you a definite time. We're showing up on time. We're going to do what we say we're going to do. And, teaching this and supporting this with our franchisees so they get in that mindset will allow them to scale and grow their business quite rapidly.
You bring up a great point. That customer service aspect. Tell me more about how you are teaching and ingraining this mindset into new franchisees that you bring on board.
Well, I think it all starts, we have pre-learning where they can sit in the comfort of their home and spend a week or two looking at all of our pre-learning material, whether it's videos on how to do the work, our philosophy on customer service and marketing and accounting and what have you. So they have a little bit of understanding before they come to our corporate office. And then there, they get to see, touch, and feel the business. We're going to spend some time in the classroom going over a number of things, teaching them how to animal-proof different items on a roof, whether it be a chimney or a roof vent or a wall vent or a plumbing system. But then they're going to get out in the field and live and breathe what we do on a day-to-day basis, because we still have operating companies that I own. So they'll be out in the field with a supervisor, and they'll see about showing up on time, how to treat that customer, how to respect their home. So they'll get that firsthand experience on how to do the work. They'll get sales experience. So they're going to live our culture for minimal a week. If franchisees say, you know what, Bill, I want to spend 2 weeks or 3 weeks, we're going to make that training program customizable directly to them. Because with Skedaddle, failure is not an option. We want all of our franchisees to be successful. You provide the hard work ethic and the determination to be successful, to strive for that better work-life balance, and follow our system, and you're going to get there.
I like that. I like how invested you are with like training and success, and even that work-life balance for your franchisees. So, Bill, one question I always like to ask is, what advice would you give someone just starting out as a franchisor?
Well, would to be follow the system. Over 31 years in business, yes, I've made mistakes. and I've learned from those mistakes, and I've gotten better. So, we're going to make our recommendations, whether, if it's, say we're in a January and a franchisee is booking 2 weeks out or 3 weeks out, it's going to be, Mr. Franchisee, get another truck on the road, hire more people. Because as you get into springtime, you're going to be backed up 3 weeks, 4 weeks, and you're going to let money just slip through your fingers. So, educating them. And some may think, oh, no, I don't want to. But then, they come back after the spring season and say, Bill, I wish I had another truck. I wish I had 2 more trucks on the road because I left all this money on the table. So, we want the franchisees, you're buying a franchise to learn from my mistakes and, following the system. We give you some flexibility in terms of your pricing models and, the time of days you want to be booked and what have you. But, following the system, of course, being humane with animals, keeping those family units together. That's what my best advice would be is, don't think, oh, I can do it better, But if you have that idea, bring it forward. We don't know everything. If you have a great idea, bring it forward. We will then research it, develop it, and bring it back to you wrapped up in a bow so you could be more profitable with your Skedaddle franchise.
I love that. And that's something I'm hearing more and more often is creating creating a productive, what I call feedback loop between franchisees and the franchisor, and taking learnings from an individual and spreading it out across the system, and at the end of the day, everyone wins.
Right, that's exactly right. I mean, we have an annual conference where we all get together. Great time to hearing what someone's doing on the East Coast in Halifax versus Milwaukee, Wisconsin, and getting everybody together and trading stories and learning and say, maybe one of the franchisees came up with a great idea which we implemented that we could all share and benefit from. So we're a big believer in that there's no stupid questions, whether you're an employee or a franchisee. Ask away. We may say, hey, we've done that, it doesn't work, or that's a great idea. Let's research that. We're all in this together. We're all striving to build the brand, as I said, not only across Canada, but the US as well. And let's all work together to get there.
Awesome. I love it. So Bill, we've talked about the past. Let's talk about what the future looks like. So what are the big things that you're struggling with right now? And what does the future look like for you?
Probably the biggest thing we're struggling with, like all franchisors are struggling with, is lead generation. How do we talk to enough people to award a franchise? And I think with our line of work, nobody grows up to say, I want to catch raccoons. No one even knows this business even exists, let alone that, wow, you can make money at this and I can have a great life and a better work-life balance. So I think, talking to those people and the people we do talk to, think that they have to know stuff about wildlife. When I started this, I knew nothing about wildlife. Let me teach you, let me explain to you, let me help you. So I think that's typically the biggest struggle for us as a franchisor is speaking with enough people. And people might look at it and say, I don't want to do that. But, we don't want you to do that. We want you to come in and, yes, learn the business from the ground up, learn how to do sales, learn how to do the work. But we want you out of that day-to-day sales truck or day-to-day service truck to start growing the business and hiring people and growing your business. Don't just buy a job. You want to be buying a business that you can grow it and expand it. So, that's, I guess, another struggle as we work with our franchisees to convince them to, invest more, get more staff and more service vehicles so you can be, up top, taking a better picture of the entire system.
Totally. Very, very cool, Bill. So we are coming close to the end of the episode. And the way I like to end all of them is with something that I call the lightning round. Don't worry. It's just a set of some fast-paced questions, no curveballs. Are you ready?
All right. Yeah.
All right. So first question is, what is your favorite tool or app that you cannot live without?
Twitter.
Awesome. Second question is, what is your favorite book?
Favorite book would be, being a former hockey player, I believe would be Ken Dryden's, I think it was called The Game, talking about his experience in the hockey field and being an educated person that he is, was very enjoyable.
Very cool. And next one is, who is a franchise leader that you look up to?
Franchise leader that I look up to. I guess I'd have to go with Ray Kroc, who started McDonald's. The success he had growing a small hamburger stand in California into a worldwide phenomenon. Once we conquer Canada and the US, I mean, there's raccoons and squirrels in Germany and England and France. So, that would be the long-term goal. Let's get across over Europe.
Awesome. And Bill, last question, I promise. Where can people find out more about you and your franchise?
Obviously, our website, skedaddlewildlife.com, is our customer-facing website. Skedaddlefranchising.com is more information on our franchise systems. Of course, I'm on LinkedIn. Of course, phone the office and let's have a chat. I'm always available to talk to anyone who's interested in being in business for themselves. Especially if you're a former athlete like myself. I think athletes spend their entire career, whether it's at the hockey rink or at the basketball court, their whole focus and drive and determination is to be successful in athletics. But like myself, those playing days end. And I've talked to a lot of athletes recently who, especially now with COVID, who don't have a job, or they're bouncing around from one dead-end job to another. So I think athletes with their determination and their mindset and work ethic would make great Skedaddle franchisees. So I encourage, if anyone's out there in that athletic arena and looking to have a great afterlife, give me a call and let's talk Skedaddle, let's talk franchising, or just talk sports.
Awesome, Bill. Thank you so much for coming on the show. You shared a ton of information that I know our audience is going to really appreciate.
All right, great. Thanks again, Jordan, for having me. It was my pleasure, and we're always available to talk wildlife and franchising.
Thank you so much for listening to this episode of the Franchise Marketing Podcast. If you found this episode useful, share it with a friend and subscribe now so you don't miss out on any upcoming episodes. And until then, happy marketing.